Hello and welcome. If you don't know me, my name is Grace, and this is my channel. Today's video, I'm so excited. Okay, so I'm going to start with just a little brief history. Brief. I have been a massive, huge pain in the butt. No, I have been a massive, huge fan of Judika as a witchcraft author since her first book, Earth Mother Magic. Big fan. I have had the honor to work with her as my editor for my book, Italian Folk Magic. I have had the honor prior to my book, her acknowledging me in her book, Mystics, Saints, and Sages. Oh, the Encyclopedia of. I hope I got that right. In the acknowledgements. So my name is in one of my favorite books. I have every book she's ever published. And of course, as soon as I had pre-ordered her newest book. So this, again, the disclaimer. So I'm already a Judika Ellis fan. And I have the extreme honor to call her friend. So, of course, this review is completely biased, but it is biased because I'm already a fan of this author's work and because she wrote the book I have been craving for a very, very long time. The book so of course you're going to see I'm being coy, but it's going to be in the title bar when I post this video anyway. But let me tell you a little bit why I had been what kind of book I have been craving. This goes back to 1996 when The English Patient was in the theaters. I saw English Patient in the theaters, and for me it was right time, right place kind of movie. I was at a crossroads in my own life. The themes of ownership, like the theme of the movie is ownership in relationships, is one of the themes one of the threads that run through that movie. I was in a receptive place for that movie. And the cinematography took my breath away. But what really stuck with me in The English Patient was Ralph Fiennes' character, Almaji, carries a copy of Herodotus' histories with him everywhere. And in his copy of Herodotus are the pieces and mementos of his life. And I thought, oh, how much I would love to love a book so much to do that. So I do have a favorite novel of all time, which is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. So I think I've mentioned this before. So my favorite novel of all time is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. And I guess I could carry Frankenstein, but it's a little bit of a small novel. Herodotus is a big freaking book, right? But it's like Frankenstein would have been my choice had it been a little bigger in scope. And Herodotus, of course, I'm not Almaji. I'm not the character in the movie, so it's not like Herodotus. Although I do have a copy of Herodotus' histories, it's not of my time and place. Well, all this to say that Daily Magic by Judika Ellis, there's other people have written books. Spell a Day. I love the almanacs. I buy the almanacs every year. at least one of them, right? Either the Llewellyn, the Witch's Almanac. I used to buy like all like every year for like probably, and I have the anniversary edition, which I thought, oh, that could be a nice book. But no, this is my Herodotus. This is the book I've been waiting for. So this is Daily Magic. It's just released. It's just recently released. I pre-ordered it. I had to cancel my pre-order to then reorder. In Canada, when you pre-order something on Amazon, you all know, if you live in Canada, it's like you're the last person to receive it. So I did the pre-order. I didn't cancel it. And then I did a purchase. I received my purchase before my pre-order. My pre-order is still somewhere in the ether. But anyway, I digress. What is this book? And I'm very excited. And like I said, it's like, okay, you know what? I'm biased. I'm a Judika Ellis fan. She's my friend. I love her. But this is a classic. It's already a classic. But if it wasn't for Judika, there would be so much lost. Her, the reason she writes books is so that all this witchcraft doesn't get lost in the mists of time. There'll always be these books popping up somewhere. All right. Okay. So, Daily Magic, Spells and Rituals for Making the Whole Year Magical. What I love about this book is that it's everything. So it goes day by day, 365 entries or 366 entries. I'm sure there's something for like the 29th. So let's go 366 entries. It's not a spell a day. It's not just a spell a day. It's what, if there's a saint celebrated on that day, if there's a holiday in whatever culture, it's present in this book. Everything is present. This is if you want to live magic every day, because every day is magic. I don't wait for the moon to be in a certain phase when I need to cast magic. I'm a folk magic practitioner, so it's like the moon is beautiful and all this stuff, but I'm a practitioner of magic by necessity. So it doesn't matter what phase the moon is in. If I need to do magic, if I need to do a ritual, it's happening. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what day, doesn't matter what phase, doesn't matter what time of year, doesn't matter whether it's waxing, waning, it doesn't matter planetary hours, none of this affects my magic. But I have to say that being the kind of person that I am, I think this has to do with my Catholic upbringing. I'm always looking for something to celebrate. I'm Italian Roman Catholic upbringing. I'm always looking for something to celebrate. I celebrate everything. Nobody's more excited than me when it's Rosh Hashanah. All right? I'm not even Jewish, but I feel an affinity, potentially because there's some kind of, because of ancestry, right? But anyway. I'm all over the place. I'm going to show you. So let's talk about the book. I'm going to read the first paragraph of the introduction with my funky accent. Sorry. All right. Time is ephemeral. You cannot touch it, smell it, or taste it. Time is observed through its inexorable passage, through its familiar rhythms, and especially through the changes it brings. Time is all powerful. Time is ever present. Time does not stop or stand still, although in moments of extreme pleasure or trauma, it may certainly feel as if it does. It is a crucial component of every magic spell, every act of divination, every spiritual ritual. Time cannot be commanded. But if we can recognize and work with its rhythms, If, to paraphrase that old saying, we are in the right place at the right time doing the right things, then our lives can be immeasurably enriched. How to use this book. I'm going to skip ahead. The year is presented linearly from beginning to end, January 1st to December 31st. The pages for each date contain commemorations, recommendations, suggestions, spells, rituals, and occasionally recipes. Simply follow the directions or use them to inspire and jumpstart your own practice. This book is intended for use by anyone in conjunction with the Western calendar. Those seeking more specialized occult information, such as planetary hours, will find it easily available through many sources, whether published or online. It will complement the material in this book, but is not necessary. As will be immediately apparent, certain dates are packed with more information and suggestions than others. These dates are our magical superpower days. On those particular dates, for instance, April 30th, October 31st, or November 2nd, numerous cultures, traditions, and divine beings are represented. This is because people all over the world and through the ages have recognized the inherent energies latent during these times and have sought to avail themselves of it in their own ways. I've done my best to create an inclusive, welcoming book that celebrates human diversity, but is also an accurate reflection of the eclectic and highly personal paths so many of us pursue regarding magic and spirituality. There you have it, people. So let's talk about, it's hardbound. It's published by Harper One. Okay, first of all, Harper One, oh my freaking God. Harper One, the binding on this thing. See, this is, I squealed. Look. This is what you want in a book you're going to use every day. Or any kind of, honestly, this is what I would want in all my books. But you know, some books with hardback or even soft cover, with a soft cover, you have to crack the binding a little, you have to crack the spine a little bit to get it to sit like this. Look, this is straight off the shelf. Fresh out of the oven, it lies open like this. I know, this is so technical, but it's a pretty big deal. It's got a dust jacket. I'll be honest, this the dust jacket is gonna get brutalized with me because I'm carrying this. This is a book I'm gonna be using every day, so I'm probably gonna put it away to keep it nice and just walk around with the book naked. Let's look at the book naked. Oh my God, where do you get a book review where the reviewer talks about how the book looks naked? Look at it, beautiful, right? Look at the spine. There we go. This beautiful paper. So let's find today. Today is September. Let's find today. Can you guess what day it is today? Of course you can, because I typically post the same day I record a video. All right. It is September 6th. I had to cheat. I had to look at the calendar. It's September 6th today. And this is the entry for September 6th. I know, it's out of focus. It doesn't matter. September 6th says, celebrate National Read a Book Day with some Bibliomancy. I love me my Bibliomancy. I gotta tell you, I'm not one to, I don't carry cards. To be honest, just recently, I started carrying a deck of cards with me. I know, right? It's like I've been reading cards like since, eons. And I was never one to carry a deck of cards with me. Not tarot, not playing cards. like in my bag, just in case. I've never been in a situation where just in case I needed to do a reading. So I don't know. Maybe, and I think this speaks more to the type of card reader I am than it is. See, I need to. I'm sorry, I got to do tangent because I'm not going to remember for the next video. Because my card reading has primarily a spiritual, a psycho-spiritual, spirit communication, psychic component, I'm not likely to whip out a deck of cards and say, oh, let me read your cards. First of all, I'd never say that. I never volunteer and say, oh, let me read your cards. And yeah. So that's why I never carry cards. But bibliomancy, oh my freaking God. I use bibliomancy anywhere I am. I remember when I was a kid, and I was a kid and a teenager and then a young adult. Remember the phone booths that used to have the big heavy phone books hanging there? Yeah. In a pinch, on the phone with a friend, boom, open up the white pages or the yellow pages, especially yellow pages for bibliomancy all the time. Craziness, right? Did I date myself? Come on, you all know how old I am. So this book, the entry is about bibliomancy, and any book can serve as an oracle. So I love that Judika gives an example, including this one. This one can serve as an oracle. Any book, really. Homer's Odyssey, Shakespearean plays, and anthologies are also very popular. I pretty much use any book for bibliomancy. I think you should try it. You know why? Because I bet you all have books in your house, some kind of book, right? And instead of running out and buying a new deck, try some bibliomancy. And this, I'm not shaming anybody. I say this to myself first and foremost. It's like, okay, do you really need that new deck? Could you not get, is that the only, seriously, Grace, do you really need that new deck? The answer to your question, could it not be found in the plethora of decks you already own or in a book? All right. So, didn't want anyone to feel shamed. All right. It's a river. We all keep returning to it. We just do our best. All right. So, back to this book. Sorry, I'm like all over the place today. Okay. How do I plan to use this book? Daily. So, daily, to read what's going on today, to plan for the future, to plan for the future, because you could, because the book is linear, but, to plan for the future, go back to the beginning. But also, the book, there's something about this book that lends itself to personalization. There's something, this book is, the binding of this book, the packaging of this book lends itself to personalization and to modification and to annotation and tabbing. And, I open a page and I think, oh my gosh, yes. I'll insert pictures of saints, like, holy cards. I'll insert my own recipes for that day. I'll insert my spells, herbs, I'll dry herbs in here. This book, I plan this book to be twice as fat by the time I'm done with it. So if I'm coming on a little strong today, it's because I'm really excited, because I've been craving a book to have bits and pieces of my life in it. On my loved ones' birthdays, I'd like to, I'm gonna add either I'm gonna add a picture of them, um, on days where I'm memorializing people I've lost, and oh my God, I know more people in spirit than I do in real life right now. Okay, it's been that kind of. I've had that kind of life, right? So, you know what I mean? It's ancestral, honoring your ancestors on their birthday or their name day or there's so much that could be done with this, and I got to tell you, I can't wait to add myself to this book. The font is beautiful and easy to read. The paper is not stark white. The entries are not so long. You know what I mean? It's like, this is the kind of book that you don't want the entry to be like 3 pages long, because I'm going to start reading diagonally across the page just to get through it. And I've had a few books that were designed to be guidebooks for some oracles, where it's like, oh God, I don't have time to read 4 pages on this one card. So this is not that kind of book. So for me, because it's more universal, it's not a spell a day, because honestly, I never use those spell a day books. Never. Because I have my own practice. This will fit in with whatever your practice is, whatever it is. But if you're a folk magic practitioner, this book is perfect. You practice anything else, this book is perfect. It doesn't matter what your spiritual path is. It doesn't matter what religion you are. Honestly, it really doesn't matter what religion you are, because this folk magic in itself, these kind of rituals or whatever, these are universal. This book is universal. This is not one of those, I don't know, I feel like this is the kind of book that could be, that you could buy for anybody. This is the kind of book that I'd be okay with carrying with me everywhere I go, and not have people look at me like, well, if they look at me like that, it's like those people that think that if you practice folk magic, you worship the devil. So those people, you're not going to change their minds, right? But for the rest of us, it's a Festivus. So this was my enthusiastic review, and oh yeah, I did. I've already gone through the whole book, and I just got it. I've already gone through the whole book, and I'm already excited about adding myself to my book. Parts of my life, pieces of my life, like Almaji's copy of Herodotus in The English Patient. So this was Daily Magic, my review, and just my joy at the right book for me kind of thing. Daily Magic, Spells and Rituals for Making the Whole Year Magical by Judika Illis, authors of Encyclopedia of 5,000 Spells. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing you all a magical day.